Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another roleplay review. This time we are going to be doing the first one in a long time. A Saiyan walks into a bar. There we go. I was able to get it. We got there together. What's up, guys? We're here. We're back. Review videos. We're staying hydrated. We're reviewing some stories. Saiyan walks into the bar. This has Kerwin, the ever elusive Torin, which is one of Magic Paper's alts, Baka, and Kaylin. And for those of you who are in this video, you know. And for the two of you who are going to watch this who aren't actually in this log, Torin, I don't think we've ever met. Baka has been palling around with Koshoro, which we will eventually get to that story. And then Kaylin was a character from, if I'm remembering correctly, like a while back when, Fusion got out of prison. Kaylin helped Fusion get out. So here are some characters we have not seen on page in a while. But the type is an action, and the synopsis is Kerwin walks into a bar and chaos ensues, and also a bar fight, sort of. It's really not a fight, though, is it? Probably a terrible synopsis. That was a terrible synopsis. It was awful. You are correct in that. But that is kind of what happens. And not a lot. This is not one of those logs where it is driving a major story, getting us towards a major plot, and we're getting, there's no big overarching reason for this roleplay. So you might be asking, Riz, why are you doing a review on it? Why a video review? Because this is quintessential DBI roleplay. I love this, right? This was exactly what DBI has been missing. This was 4 dudes who were on at the same time and was like, hey, I want to roleplay some stuff. You want to roleplay? Yeah, I want to roleplay some stuff. Oh, what's going on? Where are you at? You in Mikono City? Yeah, my character can be in Mikono City. Yeah, where are you at? You in a bar? My character can be in a bar, even though I'm 16. Baka. So yeah, this is what roleplay should be like almost every other roleplay, almost every other night, even. Please don't do that. I'll never be able to keep up. But yeah, it's just 4 dudes palling around, and Torin is working the bar. Kaylin, I do believe Kaylin is a Yondai. I'm gonna hop over to yeah, he's a Yondai. So we got, we'll see. RP Finger, Torin. Torin is a human, 1 star. Kaylin is a Yondai, starless. And then Kerwin's a Saiyan. I want to say Kerwin's tier 2. Yeah, Kerwin's tier 2. And then we got Baka. And Baka is a Kaio, also starless. But not that any of this matters. So here's what really happens, guys. This is for those of you, for the 2 of you who are going to watch this video and are not a part of it. This is what happens. Literally, Torin is working a bar. I don't know order of operations, who came first, or what's on first, who's on second. But eventually, Kerwin comes in, I think, as Kaylin's going out, and they kind of bump shoulders. And just from the get-go, Kerwin is this big, unbelievable asshole. And it really reminded me of Len and Letta, kind of like the switch that Letta would do, or Len would do when Letta would take over, of just I'm Billy Badass. I'm you are low and beneath me, you weaklings and you scum. That's kind of how he's portraying himself. He even like is like walking through the city like, man, I can't even sense a challenge on this planet. I'm so strong. And it made me just hate Kerwin. It really did. And the only thing I'll say on that is because for most of the stories that that I've read with this character, he's been like either captured or tortured or something. Like there's almost this sense of like you want to feel a sense of pity for him, but it's always been this like muted self. It's almost like he's like letting these people do all these horrible things to him so that he can then prove how it never affected him and he was like always in control and always like a badass. And then for him just to be like this arrogant ass from jump, right? Like he's not trying to play coy, he's not trying to deceive anybody and be this master of deception. Kerwin just is a dick. And that's great. And it's great that he's a dick. Because without him being abrasive, without him being an antagonist, this log doesn't really go anywhere. Nothing happens unless somebody makes it happen. You know, like being the driver of a story, especially in a shonen style that we have, like somebody needs to bring the conflict. And if everybody is just palling around, nothing really gets done. Nothing exciting ever happens. It's just four people just hanging out and chilling at a bar. You know, maybe it can be interesting for the characters to interact, but if you want something to pop off, someone's got to push that envelope. And Kerwin being the antagonist here is great. Like, while I say all these things that may sound like he's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he is, but again, without him, he drives the story. And basically what happens is that, yeah, he bumps into somebody. Baka is out on an errand for their girlfriend and kind of stumbles into this brawl. And Torin is just like, hey, if you guys are going to fight, take it outside. You know, kind of one of those, like, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I will say Baka does kind of, like, piss off before things really pop off. So he's not there for a majority of the action. But in the long run, you know, we have this Yondai and Kalen and Torin the human kind of face off against Kerwin in this bar. And guys, when I say this was Slammers, this could happen like once a week. Right, where there's just a different group of people, same bar, different group of people, and like that's how Slammers became like this bar slash dojo slash like mercenary meetup place because everybody kept going there, and maybe that's why, like maybe the old man in me is just getting sold my nostalgia back, so that's why I fell in love with this so much. But I mean, again, there's nothing here that like stood out as like, whoa, that was amazing. I mean, y'all really went at it. I think at some point somebody drops like 20 to 30 energy, 45 energy for one attack. And yeah, what I also really loved was this right here where somebody got Bad Lad telling you to vote for the mud. But yeah, I mean, yes, here it is, 60 RP energy. And I'll say, if I can go back to the mud, where was Kalen? Were you Starless? Yeah, so like again, we have these conversations all the time. Like if you're Starless, you're getting maybe one blast at 60% energy and you're done because you're Starless. You are nascent, right? Again, you're Batman before you start to get into ki and get into energy. So you're peak human athleticism, but you haven't crossed that threshold yet. You have no stars, right? You're a black belt of every martial art, but you can't fly yet. You know, you haven't been able to. So that's all I'm saying. This has been a month and some change ago, so it's not like can change it and go back. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was my only criticism of like, you're tier 0, you shouldn't have energy like that. But you know, whatevs. That'll probably change sometime soon. But outside of that, yeah, I loved that this was like just dick waving, you know, which we are in a fighting anime roleplay setting. That should happen. I'm sad Baka didn't get involved. For a while in this log, I was most interested in Baka's story because they weren't a part of the dick waving, right? And I wanted to see how they would integrate themselves into it, right? Like, no ego being presented because no one's antagonizing them directly. But was he going to be like, oh, you shouldn't say that to somebody, that's not nice. Or, hey, leave this Saiyan dude alone, right? And then he, like, joins the bad guy because in his eyes, like, yeah, Kerwin was slighted. And, you know, or maybe Torin threw a bottle at him and it knocked the gift that he was going to get for his girlfriend out of his hands. And, you know, I was just waiting to see that. And then they, you know, probably just Baka needed to go to sleep or something like that. But it was a good one. This was a fun one. And I hope to see more of these in the future. If you guys have anything else you want to discuss, you know where you can leave it. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time.